started with a simple notification. You have a new snap from Emily. I was sitting on my couch, scrolling through social media as usual, when my phone vibrated. Emily and I hadn't spoken in months. We used to be best friends in high school, but after graduation, life happened and we drifted apart. So seeing her name pop up on Snapchat was strange, but not alarming. The snap wasn't a picture of her face. It was a dark room, dimly lit by a single lamp. The caption read, "Remember this place?" I stared at the image, my heart pounding just a little faster. The room looked familiar. It took me a few moments to place it, but then it clicked. It was the Hollow, an old, abandoned house where we used to hang out during high school. The place had a creepy reputation. Kids used to tell stories about it being haunted, about people disappearing after going inside. We'd always laughed it off, until the day Emily dared me to go inside with her. That day came rushing back to me. The cold air, the smell of rot, the feeling of eyes watching us as we stepped through the decaying doorway. We hadn't stayed long, just a few minutes before something spooked us, and we ran out. We never spoke about it after that. Curious, I replied to her snap, "Yeah, I remember. Why?" The response came almost immediately, another snap. This one was a selfie, but it wasn't right. Emily's face was pale, gaunt, her eyes wide and lifeless. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. There was something off about the picture, something I couldn't put my finger on. The caption read, "Come see me." Chills ran down my spine. I hadn't heard from Emily in ages, and now she was asking me to meet her at the Hollow? I hesitated. Something felt wrong, but part of me was curious. Maybe she was going through something and needed someone to talk to. I sent another message. "Are you okay?" Another snap appeared, this time a video. The camera panned through the dark, decaying hallways of the Hollow. The house looked more run-down than I remembered, walls crumbling, floors covered in dust. At the end of the hall, the camera focused on a door. Slowly, it creaked open, revealing a pitch-black room beyond. The caption simply said, "Come inside." I stood up, pacing the room, heart racing. Something was seriously wrong. I knew I should just delete the app, forget about it, and move on. But Emily and I had history, and I couldn't shake the feeling that she needed help. Against my better judgment, I grabbed my keys and headed to my car. The drive to the Hollow took about 20 minutes, but it felt like hours. My hands gripped the steering wheel tighter than usual, and my stomach churned with every passing mile. It was late, well past midnight, and the streets were empty. When I arrived, the house looked more sinister than I remembered. The Hollow sat at the end of a long, narrow road, surrounded by woods. The moon barely pierced through the dense trees, casting eerie shadows on the ground. The place looked like it had been abandoned for years. I got out of the car, my phone buzzing in my pocket. Another snap from Emily. "I'm waiting." The picture showed the entrance to the house, the very same one I was staring at in real life. My heart skipped a beat. She was here, or at least someone was. I cautiously approached the front door. The old wood creaked under my weight as I pushed it open. The inside was just like the snap, the same decaying walls, the same dust-covered floors. The air smelled of mildew and something else, something worse, like death. My phone buzzed again. I stopped dead in my tracks, my hands shaking as I opened the new snap. It was a picture of me, standing in the entrance of the house, exactly where I was at that moment. I looked around frantically, but there was no one. The house was empty, silent except for the faint creaking of the old beams. I typed out a quick message, "Where are you?" Another snap appeared, a picture of the door at the end of the hallway, the same door from the earlier video. "Come inside." Every instinct told me to turn around and leave, but I couldn't. It was like something was pulling me deeper into the house, something beyond my control. I approached the door, my footsteps echoing through the empty halls. The door was slightly ajar, just like in the snap. My hand shook as I reached out to push it open. The room beyond was pitch black, the kind of darkness that seemed to swallow the light from my phone. I stepped inside. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind me, and I was plunged into total darkness. My breath caught in my throat as I fumbled for my phone. I turned on the flashlight, shining it around the room, but there was nothing, just bare walls and an empty floor. I felt my phone vibrate again. I didn't want to look. I didn't want to see whatever nightmare awaited me on that screen, but I couldn't stop myself. The snap was a video this time. It showed me, standing in the dark room, my phone's flashlight casting eerie shadows on the walls. But behind me, just barely visible in the frame, was a figure. Pale, lifeless, watching. My heart pounded in my chest as I spun around, but there was nothing there. The room was empty. My phone buzzed again, the notification piercing the silence like a scream. Turn around. I froze. The air around me felt thick, heavy, like something was pressing down on me. Slowly, I raised my phone and turned on the front-facing camera. My reflection stared back at me, wide-eyed, pale, trembling. And then behind me, a face appeared. Emily's face, hollow, sunken, her eyes wide with terror, her mouth twisted in a silent scream. I dropped the phone, backing away toward the door, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I had to get out. I had to leave. But when I turned to the door, it was gone. The room was gone. Everything was gone. Just darkness. And the sound of footsteps slowly approaching. Snap. Another notification. Snap. And another. But this time there was no escape. The last snap was mine.
That's for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. And if you want us to tell your stories to our viewers, feel free to send your stories, incident or experiences to our email. Just try to make the grammar neat and understandable. See you in the next video. Take care. Goodbye.